Please Don't Take My Baby is definitely a very different Cathy Glass book, and I feel like I've been saying that a lot with my last few reviews. Reading them chronologically for the first time means that I get to experience the changes that Cathy Glass has to face as a foster carer in chronological order. And with this one, it's the first time she's looking after a pregnant teenager. I believe there are other books like this after the fact, but this one is the first time Cathy is looking after a child in this situation. Now, I say child, Jade is, I believe, 16. I think she was 16 at the time, or possibly even 17, but certainly, although technically a child under the age of 18, she's not a vulnerable minor in that respect. But she's been kicked out of her house after disagreeing with her mother, and it turns out that she is, I think, 30 weeks pregnant at the time, at the start. And Cathy wasn't expecting to be looking after her because it's not the type of child she usually fosters. But one thing led to another, and she was looking after Jade with the intention that Jade would go into a mother and baby unit in due course so that Jade can learn about looking after her baby and hopefully keep her child. I was very surprised by that because at the time, although Jade came from a very chaotic family, her mother clearly is a very hard worker, but has several children to look after. It's not exactly a place where Jade can get a lot of support, emotional support. It was interesting to see that because Jade was a minor and because she was in foster care, they were automatically going to assess her to see if she was capable of looking after her baby. And I don't know if I agree with that. On the one hand, I feel like it's accusing somebody before they're guilty, before they show signs of maybe not being capable. But at the same time, it is there to benefit the baby, so can it really be a bad thing? Not really. Needless to say, things don't exactly go to plan. And there is a baby in this. I won't say when the baby comes along or what the situation is, but Cathy's involvement does not stop after the birth of the baby, and Jade has to go through this parenting assessment, and Jade is not the most likeable character. I won't go into too much detail, but while she is pregnant, she is drinking. She is. I can't remember if she was smoking while pregnant, but certainly after the baby was born, she was smoking. She is neglectful at times, and Courtney, the baby, is not being well looked after whenever Cathy is not in the picture. And you do just want to take Jade by the shoulders and shake her and say, wake up, you're about to ruin what looks like the only good thing that's ever happened to you. I'm sure many people will say, I wish I'd waited till I was older to have a child. Jade, I get the impression it's the same case, but what's done is done, and this baby is precious, and she clearly loves this child, but her priorities are in the wrong place. And I have to say the hero of the story is Tyler, because he displays such an admirable outlook. Tyler is Jade's boyfriend, the father of the baby, and while Jade is reckless, Tyler is amazing. He is level headed, he has all of his ducks in a row. Sure, he has maybe not put as much effort into his exams as much as he could have done. Yeah, he's not currently got a secure job to be able to support his child, but he is doing everything right. And whenever he was in the book, I just wanted to hug him and say, well done for being an amazing human being. Because you've got this situation, it's not ideal, but you're showing exactly how you should be behaving. And I just wanted to hug him. Absolutely loved him. Jane, on the other hand, really needed a wake up call. And I didn't really feel sorry for her that frequently. Occasionally I did. But what's really raw with this book is that there are various social workers, of course, and some of them have some really difficult jobs, and it shows just how difficult it is, or how difficult it can be, where people have to come together and make the decision about whether a child is going to be able to stay with their mother, a baby is going to be able to stay with their mother. And definitely, if you've ever thought about becoming a social worker, it might make you think twice about that. But I feel like the rewards of that job and knowing how much you are helping people and changing lives would hopefully outweigh the more challenging cases. It is a very gripping book because it's completely unclear what direction it's going to take. The first time I read it, I couldn't remember exactly what happened from the first time I'd read it. So there were things that I'd perhaps forgotten about, and it did keep me hooked until the end. I really thoroughly enjoyed it, and it is an emotional roller coaster. It's definitely one that I'm pleased to have read in chronological order this time, because I got the real sense that Cathy was trying her best with Jade, but maybe needed more guidance, I think, because there are foster carers who are trained in looking after mother and baby cases, and that wasn't the case for Cathy here, which is understandable. If there are no other foster carers, what else can you do? So I think it was a learning experience. I really thoroughly enjoyed it. Not my absolute favourite, and I think that's more because Jade annoyed me a lot, but honestly, really thoroughly enjoyed it. If you haven't read Please Don't Take My Baby, it's definitely worth checking out.